Alright, welcome back to just kind of these videos on how we're working with the IMA project this semester. So first I want to just kind of show you the general process we'll be going through. First step is, here is the documents you'll need for this process. I've opened them up in separate tabs, as you can see up here. First off, I'm going to have Google Scholar and PubMed are the ones that I kind of use in order to do my literature reviews. I feel they're good. Also, I have opened the guiding table document. I also have opened the annotated bibliography document, and I also have opened up EndNote Online just for something that will happen further down the road. So, first step in this process is to find an article that we like. So I'm going to go to Google Scholar and I'm just going to put in WASH, Knowledge, Midwives, and Cadres. See if we pull anything up. So Knowledge and Behavior of Nurse, Midwives, and Prevention of Vertical Transmission. This looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this guy right here. Then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to start working with my annotated bibliography. So I'm going to go ahead and push this over here and organize this kind of like this. Okay, so and then I'm just going to go through. First step, I'm going to copy the template, paste it down here. So basically what I'd like you to do after you copied and pasted the template is to go through and just fill out this information. Alright, so at this point I filled out the information for the annotated bibliography. It took me, I don't know, 10-15 minutes I think to just look through the article and find the answers to these questions that are found in the template. If you want to do more you can, but I mean you could spend a lot of time just reading word for word every research article and not come away with anything really valuable. So I would kind of suggest this method. Just answer the questions in the template. So here's what I've collected, and I even just snagged a table that they used for the population breakdown so I know exactly what it is, and it's organized in a kind of nicer way than if I were to try and type it out. So it was a really interesting article, and I actually found that this article that right here is very similar to our research question. And so I noted it in the notes and impressions that we can use this research paper to even format our paper. We could actually look at their method section and try and analyze data using what they did, which is more on my end. You guys don't necessarily need to worry about that. Then also their introduction section. This is probably a really good article that you could quote or cite near the end of the introduction section because it's so specific, but we can address some of their limitations, like this is done in Nigeria, there could be a different state, it was also done with HIV and AIDS, ours is not necessarily HIV and AIDS, more research needs to be done in this area rather than HIV and AIDS. So this article might actually be really good for the introduction section as well, and I've made note of that here. The next step is to open up the guiding table, and I'm going to put this guy in multiple sections in here. The purpose of the guiding table is to summarize the information and make it really easy to look through. And so the annotated bibliography, on the other hand, is designed for more in-depth kind of getting all of the information. Then we're supposed to summarize it from the annotated bibliography to the guiding table. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out the information for mine in the guiding table and apply it to the appropriate sections that it might be useful in. And so I'm going to just take a moment and do that. Alright, so at this point I have added the information in for this this research article I did. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and select this, and no, I'm not including the number right there, just from link until personal notes, and I'm going to copy that, and I think this would be good as a template for us to use. I feel like the introduction section in this could be good and useful for that as well. The methods I definitely want to use. Don't know if the results are very applicable or the discussion section. So I think those are the ones that it would apply to. And so I'm just going to leave it like that. And so this is the process for updating it. The next thing I want to show you is that it's really important to add this article to our EndNote citations. If you don't add it to the EndNote citations, it's going to make our lives a lot harder when we go to try and input in-text citations into our research paper. But if we do it right from the beginning, it can be very simple. So what I want to do is, remember the capture reference button I put up here? I can go ahead and click this button and it should capture the reference for me. Okay, everything looks pretty good. I can review it. Next thing I want to do is go ahead and assign it to WASH. Right there, the group. So we're gonna save that to WASH midwives cadres right there. So now this reference has been captured for us. Another option, sometimes I've experienced that the capture reference function doesn't work, and in that case I've noticed that if you plug it into Google Scholar, I can go ahead and hit this button right here, and I can actually hit EndNote. And I actually think this method is probably more accurate and better in a way, because it's not trying to autofill things, it's like the actual citation, so it's more accurate. So I'm going to go ahead and click the button that had it downloaded, and there it is. So then at this point I'm going to take it and I'm going to pull it right over here into the WASH midwives and cadres. Okay, and so now there it is right there. Very similar process in PubMed. I'm going to go ahead and search for this article. Okay, here's the same article in PubMed, and then I'm going to actually click this button up here, send to, then citation manager, and I'm going to create a file. Okay, and it's going to come up down here. I'm going to click that. I can do it to EndNote Online or EndNote. I'm going to go ahead and choose EndNote Online because I don't know if we've done that one yet. And then once it's there, you can go to EndNote, you can select it, and you can send it, add it to the group WASH midwives. You need to assign it to that group. It's a similar process within EndNote. The desktop version pops up there. Make sure you drag and drop into the midwives one over there. If you have any questions about that, feel free to contact me. So the next part of this process is, how do we add in-text citations into our research paper? So I'm going to go ahead and open up, this is the research paper template that we're using to kind of write all our notes down, and it's kind of the rough draft version of it. So let's go to introduction, and say, let's say I'm writing part of the review of existing literature. That's fitting. So I'm just gonna label this is me doing my own paragraphs. But then at this point, I've cited I'm writing my paragraphs and I put that in there. Next thing I want to do is actually open the desktop app, or you could have done it before. I really should have opened it before I started writing. So now that I've opened up the desktop version, I can go ahead and access this tab right here that says EndNote X9 that you've previously downloaded, and then I'll go right here, and this is the sentence that I've written and that I need to cite. So I'm going to go ahead and hit insert, and I've typed Nidicum, which is the author, and it's pulled up this guy, and this is the one I want. So I'm going to snag that and then hit insert, and then it's going to go ahead and put in that citations and then at the bottom it also will start creating a references page as well, which is awesome. And then if each of us do this, then it will automatically update. The next thing that it'll also do is that I can also change the style to APA. I can change it to whatever I want. Depending on whatever journal we want to submit our paper to, we can modify it really fast, and we don't have to go through a whole bunch of hurdles to try and switch that up in the future. So hopefully this was helpful. I'm really grateful for technology and the ability to do this. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me, and I'd love to help you out with that. Thanks. Bye.